to call upon the host today, the author of the book, His Excellency Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, who will introduce his other guests. And allow, as you come, His Excellency, Mama Tessie also just come. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you.
So it's now the opportunity to listen to His Excellency Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. Let's give him a round of welcome.
Thank you so much, Eli Dewalo, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, but more specifically our chief guest, Ambassador Amina Mohammed, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors who are here, thank you for coming. I was on record having seen the ambassador of Denmark and the ambassador of Jordan. I think there was a representative from the European Union, I think Qatar, and a few others. So if I don't mention it, please bear with me. There's a problem when you come to say something after listening to Barack Muluka, listening to Fredo Jambo, and then listening to PLO. You wonder what you can do on a podium. And indeed, Cheserem Mika, who delivers with so much finesse. I'm humbled, very humbled. And I'm so happy that standing next to me is my wife, Tessie. We have our two children, the ones who are able to come. There's Michael and Marianne, if you just step forward for a minute. This is Marianne, this is the last born in the family. Thank you. And this is Michael, the one in the middle. The eldest is out of town on assignment. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is the gentleman who survived the Dusit attack. And really, my uncle. Okay. Justus Mudavadi, he's not too well, Ambassador Justus Mudavadi. That's why I will spare him having to come to the podium. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are a big family. We are a family of 13 children. So there are so many, some in the country, some in other parts of the town. But before I say anything, I must acknowledge that in the process of arriving at this, dear friends who are here, you always want to pray that your partner believes in what you do. Tessie has been my best friend. Tessie has been my right-hand person. Tessie has been my best critic. She doesn't spare me. But Tessie has also offered her prayers and encouragement. So, before I say anything, I would like to give her a minute or so to say something.
It's your day.
Well, my day belongs to you.
I have
Yours, Radmila.
It's only Shana.
Okay.
It's only Shana who's going to take this statement about the foundation.
Okay. All right. I will not argue with that. Thank you. But over and above that, As we sell the book, the proceeds of this book will go to a foundation. They'll not come to me as a personal reward. We set up a foundation in 1993. This foundation is the Mudavadi Memorial Foundation Trust Fund. It is involved in a number of activities, and I'll just call a representative of the foundation to come forward for exactly 2 to 3 minutes to sum up what the foundation does. And then I'll explain later why the proceeds of the sale of the book will be so critical going forward for the foundation. Is Shana here?
Good evening, distinguished guests. All protocols observed. My name is Shana Fernandez Kandia. I wear many hats for Honorable and Mrs. Mudavadi. The Mudavadi Memorial Foundation Trust Fund was founded in 1997 by the husband and wife team of Honorable Musalia and Tessie Mudavadi, and was triggered off by the many wants and needs in Western Kenya. This is where it has worked, gradually spreading its resources and countrywide. Initially, the foundation founders responded to the needs of the various communities through one-on-one donations, but with time and with the increasing needs, it resorted to assistance through projects such as the Sabatia Eye Hospital, Sabatia Constituency Development Fund, known as SACODEF, and Itando Mission of Hope Center. With the still increasing complexity of the needs, the founders resolved to come up with a vehicle that would improve and spread out to the rest of Kenya and the assistance that was being provided. Hence the creation of the Mudavadi Memorial Foundation Trust Fund. Our vision is to promote quality life through the relief of distress and or poverty of the residents of Kenya. To achieve this, we endeavor to pursue our mission through people-owned processes, known as POP, in which communities are empowered to be drivers of their own development and destiny by laying down strong structural foundations to ensure autonomy of the program for self-sustainability, continuity, and prosperity. Our values are health, education, social economic development, and culture. Our intervention has been: 1. The establishment of Itando Mission of Hope Center in Vihiga County, Sabatia Sub-County. The Itando Mission of Hope Center consists of Itando Mission of Hope Hospital, a 30-bed health facility offering both in and outpatient medical services, and Itando Girls Orphanage, Mabale. If you have some time, you can go through our profiles of the girls, little profiles there. We have signed a management contract with the Franciscan Sisters of the Catholic Church for them to offer their medical and administrative expertise to the facility. 2. Sabatia Eye Hospital. Sabatia Eye Hospital is a 33-bed independent non-profitable hospital also located in Vihiga and specializing in eye care. The hospital receives patients from as far off as Uganda and Central Africa. The hospital offers outbound a breast cancer advocacy program, which to date has seen a number of breast cancer patients benefit from proceeds raised by the foundation and the introduction of Tumaini Rider at the Nairobi Hospice. 4. Education bursaries to needy students from all walks of life, with our first graduate having just graduated with a degree in pharmacy from the University of Nairobi. Last but not least, as a respecter of our vast Kenyan culture and in appreciation of it, we offer our small contribution to the annual Vihiga Cultural Festival. The proceeds of the sale of this book, Soaring Beyond the Storms of Passion, goes towards our charity work. I would like to thank Honorable Musalia Mudavadi and Mama Tessie for your thoughtful and generous contribution to the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Shana. So mine will be just to thank you all. First of all, I want to thank the family, my mother, and everybody who has contributed, the elders whom we talked with on the issues of culture and the history that is purely oral unless you're able to document it. To Barak Muluka and your team, we spent a lot of hours together. Sometimes we would completely cancel certain aspects of it and start afresh. For 5 years, sharing these moments, getting to know each other, I say thank you to all of you. I also just want to encourage our colleagues here and others, please tell your story. Because if you don't tell your story, nobody will tell it for you. And indeed, so many people ask me questions that why do you want to document such sensitive issues at this point in time? I thought that it is good to document them when a lot of the actors are still present so that they can in turn give their version. If they believe that what I have said and the way I've written it is not factual or accurate, I've thrown the gauntlet. Bring your story. Let other Kenyans, let other people also appreciate what it was, what you are seeing, what you are feeling. I've talked over Johnny, and indeed Fred summed it up very well, that we all have reputations, but character has been very scarce. We are now seeing a lot of things that we washed under the table, under the carpet, beginning to manifest in the leadership of this country. You go back and you ask yourself, who did you elect? You go back and ask yourself, who did you give responsibility in certain areas and spheres of life? And you realize it's a sad story. So in this book, I also tried to come out as honestly as I can possibly come out, so that others can read it and other generations can read it, so that we can make better decisions. I give an insight into the workings of government. I give an insight to the betrayals that can be in government. I give an insight into how petty jealousies can distort very major policy decisions and completely change the course of a nation. I thank strong personalities like Mika Chesere. I know he'll tell his story. I know there are so many laws that we drafted with Amos here. And I also know that you could never rule out the wisdom and the accurate criticism that would come from somebody like Martha Karua. So all these things are there. I bring out stories of vivid moments with other Kenyans. I talk of brinkmanship. I talk of reality. I reflect on the loss of lives because of our politics in this country. The loss of resources because of the politics that we have sometimes held onto. And I stand here to plead to all Kenyans that let us make that difference. I talk of a story, and I must say that P.O. is very good. He has actually summarized that book. I'm so impressed. But I tell you, there are moments, and one of the intriguing moments that I can remember is when we went out to Washington, to the World Bank offices. And we were chased out of the World Bank office by Edward J. Cox. Me, a minister, a finance minister of the Republic of Kenya, other people, PSAs, senior fellows, we were told by Edward J. Cox, a no-nonsense vice president of the World Bank, that I have no business talking to looters. Get out. These are the experiences that we went through. I talk of experiences when you hear me talking about the danger of massive public debt. I talk with a heavy heart because we were pariahs. We were carrying the bowl from one capital to the other with my friend Cheseran. And nobody wanted to listen to us. We had to reschedule massive debt at a very high cost. When you see me talk about it, I know what is coming your way. If this book is a storm, a hurricane is coming. And these are the messages that are not being captured. The media has done very well. Thank you so much. But as they said, please go deeper into the book, because there are other issues that Kenyans must know about. So I want to encourage a culture of reading to you. I encourage you to read. Let us all break away from the tradition that I said when I was in Bomas, that do not say I have read because PLO Lumumba has summarized it for you. Do not say I have read because Fred Ojambo has said it. Do not say I have read because Barak has said it. I am appealing to all of you, please read. Let us rebuild the culture of reading. It's so important. I've also talked of my mistakes. Who said I'm infallible? Who said I'm an angel? Who said I make correct political decisions all the time? No, it's not possible. It's not humanly possible that you cannot make mistakes. But the strength lies in the ability of you to wake up and to stand out and acknowledge that I did make some mistakes. In this journey. So, let's come out. And I'm happy that in this room I saw a couple of my classmates, where is Mr. Ohome and Mr. Kironyo? I don't know whether they are anywhere here. If you are, just wave wherever you are. Mr. Ohome and Kironyo, we started with in school. And we were prefects together in a house called Kirinyaga. Then we were caught up around the same time in university on matters of the coup. And some of us slept in cell, and we ate cabbage kabu, boiled cabbage with maharagwe. And you prayed that the call of nature does not come your way, because going to the loo and what you do, and you're walking into that loo barefoot, was a very terrifying experience. I would not want to wish it on anybody. It is very difficult. But in the process, Wahome and his family, in the middle of a crisis, Wahome is from Odaya. He's not a lawyer. He's from Odaya. But their family gave me refuge for a whole week. When the crisis of the coup and people were dying, and nobody could invite you to their home, they invited me in their home, and I stayed there for 1 week. These are serious moments in life. Friendship goes beyond your ethnicity. Friendship sometimes even goes beyond your own blood. It goes much further. I want to encourage you to read it. I want to encourage you to have a united nation. Let us encourage our diversity, let us grow, and let us have a cutoff point as a nation and say that we are reaching a stage where now we must make decisions using our heads and not our emotions. Because God's goodwill on Kenya might wane. I don't speak for him. I don't know what kind of patience he has. But in the Bible, God has also visited moments when his patience has waned on society. So I stand here to say, let us make sure that we do not overstretch the goodwill of this nation and the people of this nation. So read the book. It tells you a lot. Thank you, Mr. Timami, for coming all the way from Lamu to be here. You are a source of encouragement under difficult times. Thank you for your friendship. Now, before I call the chief guest tonight, allow me to give a minute each or two to two of my colleagues. But in the process, let me also recognize Jeremiah Kioni again. I make reference in the book to Jeremiah Kioni amongst other things. But I come clean on one issue. Because of cheap political propaganda, when Jeremiah Kioni was my running mate, some people concocted a story that he had not voted for me. which was a lie. It was false. So I have stated in the book, because I know the pain he must have gone through emotionally, I have stated in the book that they lied. That is how friendship should be. So I'm happy he's here. Thank you, brother. Now, may I request my sister, Martha Karua, Honorable, to say jambo, and then I'll sum up with Weta, as he was called by Honorable Murungaru. And let me, at this point in time, say that Kalonzo had to catch a flight. He's flying out of the country. He was here for a few minutes, but he said we render his apology, but he was happy to be here, and he's taken at least 2 of the books. Thank you. Mheshimiwa Martha.
The man of the moment, Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Tessie Mudavadi, the chief guest, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Today is not our day. It's the day of the launch of the autobiography of